Dr. Joe Schran, good morning.
Good morning, Rob. Nice to see you on this Feel Good Friday.
Good to see you.
I just want to give a shout out to Mark, because Mark and I, decide sometimes what to talk about, and so he really wanted me just to talk about him today.
Oh, okay.
But because he's wonderful, but he's actually about to have knee surgery. I hope he doesn't mind me telling when he's.
Well, he did talk about his fall last week,
yes.
and we were very concerned.
Yep, and he's a little out of joint.
Oh,
Sorry, I couldn't resist that.
There you go.
But Mark, do well. I hope you're listening. Thank you. Really quick recovery for you, so you can get back on your foot.
That's true. Yeah, we really do. We need you back.
Nice. Yeah, we're there. So I think we are in the groove. So that's what I thought maybe we could chat about today. It was humor.
Humor. Okay,
right?
yeah.
Because there's so much stress going on in the world right now. There's so much, conflict and anger and horrible, horrible things are happening. And unfortunately, it's the dark side of who we are as human beings.
Yeah.
But there is also this other side of us where we can not only remind each other of value, but where we can just share some joy, some happiness, some laughter. For me, one of the things when I got to Riverside Community Care, which is where I'm now the Chief Medical Officer, started this tradition that is, well, it's caused a lot of eye rolls, but before we have our leadership meeting, we tell some really bad puns.
Really?
Some really bad dad jokes. And it is remarkable how even through a Zoom meeting, which can be, a little bit stiff and like it being in an elevator, people just begin to open up, laugh a bit. Some people groan. And you know that a dad joke is not mature until it's fully grown.
That is true.
Yeah,
All right, there we go. I get where you're going with this.
Yeah. So I thought maybe today, we probably have a whole bunch of listeners out there.
We do.
Maybe on the road, but maybe at home. Maybe they've got a cell phone. Maybe they've got a phone. Maybe they've got a dad joke.
Okay.
That they want to call in and let us know.
Share humor.
Share some humor. Because what happens under stress is we release this chemical called cortisol. Cortisol is basically the main neurohormone, the main brain chemical in fight, flight, freeze. It's about survival. But when we laugh, we release chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin, not OxyContin, oxytocin, and endorphins, these things that make you feel good. Now, why would the human brain have evolved that if we didn't need some relief from the fight, flight, freeze response?
So humor, even going all the way back, just the ability to laugh is something that's good for us.
It's so good for you. It's absolutely healing. We've got scores and scores and scores of literature to support that. So we use humor now in mental health. We use humor in healing because when it interferes with cortisol, cortisol stops healing. We even use humor in athletics. So there's this article that just came out recently that says for people who have, brain fatigue, where, we're all so tired.
Yeah.
You can use humor to actually get people to walk a little faster.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's really cool.
That's I tell you, that's where science is fascinating. It really is. And by the way, the number is 781-837-4900 if we have somebody with a good dad joke to call in and tell Dr. Joe and myself and share.
That'd be great. Rob, I don't know if there really are any good dad jokes, but
you know
what I
suppose,
mean?
Yeah, I do.
But we won't take this any farther.
Oh, there we go.
Thank
Boy,
you.
he is not stopping today.
Yeah. Well, I was hearing your talk about robots earlier, right?
Oh, the robots to stop you from shoplifting.
Yes. And
I don't know.
Well, no, I think it's really interesting because did you know about the robot that got arrested for battery?
Oh,
Sorry.
man.
Yeah.
Okay. You've got robot jokes, too.
Yeah. And the traffic folks, I mean, I hope people, people ought to know better. Ought to.
Okay, I get, boy. All right. Dr. Joe is full.
Yeah, you heard about, it's terrible, the explosion in the cheese factory in France yesterday?
No, I missed that one.
Yeah, debris was everywhere.
Debris. All right. 781-837-4900 if you can top that. And humor, as you talked about, is something that's so important. It is so good, when you go to a comedy show and it's fun, there is something about that feeling when you're walking out. You notice that? And I think about that with the people with their smiles on their faces. You know that you're inside and you're really enjoying the person. They're doing so well. They're set. They're killing it, I guess, or whatever. And you do feel great, and it's fun. You just walk out almost like pumped up from that.
Exactly right. And that pumped up feeling, that's healing. That really is, because it's you feel better. You feel like life has some more meaning and more purpose, and you're just enjoying, and you're sharing that joy and humor with all those other people.
Yeah. So think about that, and some of those, we think about some of the people when they get stressed and they relax, and that's kind of, why, Johnny Carson and some of those shows developed with the monologue as a kind of way to just, hey, I need to take it down because I've had, a tough day out there, and I need a little humor, just some absurd or some fun to make me laugh before I go to bed, because I know, and you must see this in your work as well, with the stresses of the world, and sometimes this is now, and some people have a serious problem where they have trouble sleeping because it's just, I don't know what that is, because I have this ability where I'll just fall asleep on the tee, and I can zone out and I'm gone.
Yeah, Robert, it could be because you get up at what?
Well, that could be
3 in the morning every day.
So I've got that that fatigue already going.
Right.
But for some people, right, how is that? Can you explain maybe the science behind what's going on in the brain that I can't get to sleep because I'm just so anxious?
Absolutely. Think about what sleep does, right? Not only does sleep replenish you, but it puts you in enormous danger. Because if there are predators around and you're asleep,
oh, yeah.
Right?
It's a time I could be eaten.
Exactly. So that's why we have nests. We have places that are really safe for us that we can actually sleep. But for some people, when there's that anxiety, that actually is part of the fight, flight, freeze response.
Okay.
You're not aware that there's a potential predator out there, but you are aware that there's something wrong. There's something bothering you. There's something you can't solve, which potentially decreases your sense of value. Remember, you've heard me say this so many times, every human being wants the same thing. We just want to feel valued by another human being. So whenever we feel less valuable, it actually activates our fight, flight, freeze response, because we're safe when we're in a group. We're not so safe if we're kicked out of it.
Okay.
And if you want to stay in the group, you've got to contribute, you've got to have value. So that's in large part a lot of why people have difficulty falling asleep, is because they're ruminating, their brain is going a mile a minute, they're thinking, what's going to happen, what if I do this, what if I don't do that?
Yeah.
So here's my advice. First, do not get into bed until you are absolutely ready to go to sleep. Basic rule of sleep hygiene. Your bed has to be associated only with safety, only with a place of relaxation, only with a place where you can sleep. If you're in bed worrying, your brain begins associating your bed with a place where you don't sleep. Get up, go do something. Don't go back into bed until you're ready to sleep. That's one of the most important parts of sleep hygiene. Now, humor has some role in this as well, because the humor allows you to get rid of some of that anxiety. A lot of people make fun of themselves. That's not so bad. Making fun of other people can be bullying.
Yeah.
So that's devaluing somebody else. That's unfortunately what human beings have done for a long time. We devalue other people. But at every moment, you can remind someone of their value. Whenever you do that, you increase your own value. That's going to help you sleep because you feel safer.
All right. I hope that does help some people. I know that's a tough thing. What you don't want to do is get into something where you're just medicating or, as you said, I guess try to get out of that routine where the bed is now associated with something else besides sleep.
Exactly right.
Okay. All right.